Hello, this is This is part 9 of my first tierlist, which see the answer that starts with the letter I, which coincidentally enough are all from the base game, implying that since the game was released there haven't been any new battles that start with the letter I, and not just that, they also to the word Indian, so they're all animals found in the Indian subcontinent. Starting off with the Indian elephant. This is the last of the 3 animals to talk about. The other subspecies of Asia in the game, and a bit odd that the word for the Indian subspecies specifically when small spawning elephants. Most places don't specify which subspecies of Asian elephants they've got, but it says because of the specific subspecies, since it is the most widespread one, and it is the one that's present in Indian culture, and it represents the big majority of Asian elephants in captivity out there. And this is actually one of my space games. There's about that I do prefer this over the Bornean elephant. I actually think the model actually holds up surprisingly well. It's more detailed. It's the color style could do with more, but it's still. I think. And it's definitely more reliable than the Bornean elephant, since at least this is most of captivity, and to go to put it, it's in the common Hipponesia shore coral. There's a burning it out eye. Moving on to the Indian peafowl. This is the last of the 3 base game birds we to talk about. This is the game bird, which there aren't that many game birds in the game, unfortunately. Now this is an animal that isn't really kept in an enclosure. You tend to mainly see it freely roam around an animal place, but it is the most iconic Asian birds, and it's still an animal that you expect to see places, even if it's usually isn't kept in an enclosure. And the fact that it's an iconic bird and one that's places and is a wonderful to game. It does make it a very versatile animal. Now, the main issue would be that it's the peacocks in particular, they're a lot mostly coloured than they are in real life. They're a bit of a brighter shade of blue than they're meant to be, and the train the texture could be beautiful. The train is this great teal coloration, when in reality I think in the peacock trades are meant to be more of a very dark shade of green. It's also a bit in a great game, even if there's it's I think around there's more unique these components here. And then finally for this part here, not that many got the greater one-horned rhino, and the base game one, which is very odd that this was the rhino in the base game, even though most people think of the 2 African species of rhino, and the white rhino in particular is by far the most commonly kept rhino in captivity. I wanted to say this is a bad choice, since the greater one-horned rhino is probably the most well-known Asian species of rhino. It's the largest one, and it's the only Asian species one that's present in captivity. Which is a more of an occasional sighting. Now, you do think this is the weakest rhino in the game? I think it's still surprisingly well, but it doesn't have any color variations to it, so which it is this. I guess this sort of sand reddish coloration, which creates a lot of can be in this coloration, but they tend to be a lot more muted in coloration than this, and also feel like it's a bit undersized, especially it's the smallest rhino in the game, even though it's meant to be the second largest species rhino. It's meant to be larger than the black rhino. No, and I think the legs are a bit stubby, so it should. This is another animal that's undersized, so but it's in the good category. Okay. And seeing the two cattles, let's see, I guess there's probably so I think, yeah, but just cattle. So there we go. That done. And for the next part, moving on to the chase, which got the same amount of animals for the next part. So we'll have mixed.